Hey guys, how are you getting on with your English language studies? Remember, it's never too late to learn a new language, even if you're getting on a bit.
It's true. Today we are going live to give you 10 phrasal verbs. Well, it's one phrasal verb, but with 10 different meanings. It's an incredible phrasal verb. I must say, we are sorry if you're somewhere very far away from the UK, like Asia, because it must be getting on a bit. Must be getting on a bit. But I must say, we need to get on with this video. So stay tuned for 10 ways to use the phrasal verb get on.
But you can, of course, watch this after it's streamed. So if you're needing to hop on a plane or get on a bus, then it's all good because you can watch it afterwards. But you will be missed. You'll be dearly missed. But my beloved friend Harry, who I get on very well with, will be keeping me company whilst we give you guys a real conversation in British English. So before we get on to another topic all about these phrases, let's hear from our lovely sponsor, italki, and then we'll get on with the show.
Okay, so if you're not confused enough, it's all about get on. And yes, it's sponsored by italki, who we actually get on really well with. We love italki. If you're someone who is learning English or any other language, but you don't have enough time to speak the language and to practice with native speakers, italki gives you the best solution for it. You can learn a language from your own home. So you literally don't need to go anywhere. There are about 5,000 teachers for you to choose from on there, two of whom are sitting right here. Me and Charlie are on there. So if you wanted to book lessons with us, you can do so through italki. It's a good platform, isn't it, Charlie?
It really is. Yes, we've both used it for our Spanish studies. I think you've used it for your Italian. In fact, we did a video and we challenged ourselves to 5 or 6 different languages, didn't we? Do you remember that?
We did, yeah. You did Japanese and Indonesian as well. Remember that?
Yes. My Indonesian class was great.
You actually didn't get on well with him, did you?
No, I didn't. Harry was recording himself choosing me a tutor, and he said, "Oh, this guy, he's got all the availability in the world. That must mean he's fantastic."
Yeah, that was probably a sign that he's not a very experienced or good teacher. But there are loads of good teachers on there. So the good thing about iTalk is you can choose teachers that haven't got much experience, but they're raring to go, meaning they are full of enthusiasm to start their career as an online teacher. And because they're new, you can get them at a really cheap price. So we really recommend it. If you like the sound of it, there's a link in the description box, which gives you $10 of italki credits to spend on a lesson after your first lesson purchased.
Absolutely. Okay. So, as we said, we will get on with the show. We used the phrasal verb get on in 8 different ways in that introduction, and we will be able to tell you all of the different meanings by the end of this video, and you will be able to use them in fact, 10 different ways. There is one that is quite similar, so we'll probably teach it together, but there are 10 different ways that we're going to teach it to you right now. And the first one Harry will talk about is all about relationships, isn't it?
It is indeed. So you've probably heard this. This is one of the most common uses of get on, and we can use it with the preposition with. So it means that you have a good relationship with somebody. So if you and your father have a good relationship, maybe you share lots of the same opinions, maybe you have a good time together and you like to have a laugh and tell jokes together, you can say, I get on with my father, or I get on well with my father. But if you don't want to use the preposition with, you could just use it intransitively. So without an object, you could say, me and my father, or my father and I get on. My father and I get on. Do you
Very
get on
nice.
with? Do you got? Do you get on with your father, Charlie?
I do. This morning I was getting on very well with my father because we had a spiffing game of golf.
Oh,
Lovely game of golf.
that's a lovely father-son activity, isn't it?
I know. It was glorious. The sun was out and so were we. And we played really well.
Did
So we
did
we were
he?
actually getting on like a house on fire.
Oh, there you go. So he was getting on really well with his father. And did he let you win?
He did, yes. He did let me win. I don't think he let me win. I just was better than him. But it was very close. It was one stroke, one hit.
Okay. I hope your dad didn't have a stroke.
No, my dad did not collapse on the golf course. He is getting on a bit, so I understand why you asked that. But no,
Oh,
he made it round, although his knees were troubling him. They were niggling him.
oh, okay. Niggling knees. Okay. So yeah, that happens when you're getting on a bit. But we'll get to that one. Don't get ahead of yourselves. The next one is, well, to get on again, but it's to manage or to deal with a situation. So Charlie was moving recently from Germany to the UK, moving back before he goes to Australia. He came back in a van, and it was a big job. You know, it's something he had to manage and deal with effectively. And I didn't do this, but I could have called him. I could have called him and say, hey, Charlie, how are you getting on? How are you getting on with the move? How are you getting on? I didn't do it, but I could have.
Yeah, you could have. You didn't in the end. Bit rude, but I was getting on okay with it. It was a little bit frustrating, but it was hard work, and it felt good at the end of it. It was a challenge that was overcome. But you could also say that about new jobs, couldn't you? You could ring up someone and you say, "How are you getting on at?" And then you say the new job.
Okay, yeah. So how are you getting on at your new job or in your new job?
Or
How are you
in,
getting
yeah,
on? Or
yeah,
how are you getting on? How are you getting on in Australia?
yeah. How are you getting on in Australia or any other country? Doesn't have to just be Australia.
Any country you've recently moved to, you can use it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the second one. So the first one, relationship. Second one, manage. Third one, continue. Continue. So this is to continue doing something and especially work. And you could say, Harry, I'll leave you to get on with it while I enjoy my round of golf with my father. And I'm talking about his work, perhaps, that he needs to do. We're preparing
Okay.
an IELTS course, and Harry needs to get on with it, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, I do. Well, we both need to get on with it. You know, maybe if you played less golf, we would get on with
Ah,
it quicker.
definitely not, because I've done mine. So
You've done your part. So that's a good one. So you can say it to someone if you think that someone should be continuing their work and they're not. So you know, you could say, get on with it. Get on with your work. Stop playing around. Stop playing golf. Get on with it. But I was thinking, Charlie, before this, it's a good way to get out of a phone call. Like if you're speaking with someone and they're going on a bit, they're talking a lot, you could say, "Oh, I must get on. I must get on," and that they know that you're doing something and you need to continue with it, and they are being an inconvenience for you.
yeah, that is great. That's a nice way for Brits to use it as well, to avoid direct communication saying, "You're boring me, goodbye." Yeah, I'll leave you to get on. And that was the other thing. So you can say get on with it, with whatever you were talking about or doing, or you could say I'll leave you to get on then. Shall I? Like you could say it as a question. I'll leave you to get on then. Shall I?
Exactly. Yeah, it's really good. I'll leave you to get on. Yeah, you must be busy. I'll leave you to get on. But really, you just want to get out of the conversation.
Yes. So you can use it with something. I'll leave you to get on with that. or without. So you can say, I'll leave you to get on.
Really nice, really nice. So going on to the next one, we're talking about old age. We're talking about old age or just age, really. So imagine you haven't seen someone for a long time, and then you see them and they look about 30 years older. They're not looking good. They're not looking good. You could say, oh, I saw Philip the other day. Phew, he's getting on a bit.
Okay. He's getting on a bit. So he's aging.
He's aging, and he's not aging well. He's not aging well. He's getting on a bit. Yeah. You couldn't say it about someone who's like, I don't know. Could you say it about someone who's like 40? I guess you could if you thought they looked bad for their age.
Harry, it's all relative, I'm sure. Yeah, 40. Yeah, he's getting on a bit. Oh. But, when we near to the age of 40, we'll probably say he's not getting on a bit.
Well, you'd probably say it about yourself. Brits often criticize themselves to try and be funny. I'm getting on a bit. Maybe I can't come out tonight. I'm getting on a bit. I need to just stay in and chill.
Yes,
Watch
exactly.
a documentary.
Exactly.
But this one, we always use it in the continuous tense, don't we? We always say someone is getting on a bit.
Yes. He's always in the continuous form. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're talking about someone in the past, like maybe your grandmother said something really racist when she was really old. You said, oh, she was getting on a bit by then. And she said something racist in the library.
Yeah, you could say that. You could excuse her racism, even though you shouldn't really. But you can say getting on a bit.
Sorry about that. She's getting on a bit.
Yeah. Or you could say, oh, I heard your grandfather died. I'm very sorry. And then you can say, yeah, he was getting on a bit though. So it's all right.
It's okay. He's dead, but we're kind of used to the idea. Yeah. Fine.
My cat at the moment, or my mum and dad's cat, they've got 5, so don't feel too sorry for them. One of them is really getting on a bit, and every morning we go down to the kitchen, and he has shat all over the floor. It's disgusting. It's horrible. It really gets up your nostrils. It's very, very painful.
Oh dear.
Dream.
Dear. Not nice. Nice.
But there we go. So that one, people, you can say people are getting on a bit, or I've gone a bit blurry. But then you can say a party or like an evening. In the evening, you could say, oh, it is getting on a bit. Shall we leave? It's getting on a bit. Shall we leave? And maybe if you are getting on a bit, if you're getting old, you might say this more often because you're not as social as you used to be.
It's true. It's the kind of thing my parents say really early on at a party. They'll say, yeah, it's 8:10. It's getting on a bit. We better get home. It's getting on a bit.
Yeah. The older you get, the more you hear it, or the more you hear people who are older saying it. Definitely.
Totally. So if you're up with your partner and you want to go to bed, you think it's a bit too late, or maybe you're on a phone call, again, it's getting a bit too late. You say, oh, it's getting on a bit. It's getting on a bit. We better go to bed.
Yeah.
Or if you've got a deadline, perhaps you could say, oh, it's getting on a bit. We better hurry up with something.
Yes. We've said that before. We've said that like a live that we've said that we'll do at some point and we never do it. We say, oh yeah, it's getting on a bit. We can't really focus on that right now because the deadline is looming. So yeah, it's getting on a bit. Let's hurry up.
Yeah, like when if we've scheduled a live for 2 p.m. and you're in the toilet,
what?
And I'm saying, Charlie, come on, it's getting on a bit. Hurry up.
Perfect. Okay, what's the next one?
The next one is again with get on, but we're using it with the phrasal verb for, and it means almost. So if we're talking about someone who is nearly 50, I could say he is getting on for 50. He's getting on for 50 now. So, I'm emphasizing that he's close to being 50. So Charlie is getting on for 30. Charlie is getting on for 30.
I am, but I can say that about you soon in about 2 months, 3 months.
You can say it now. To be fair, I'm 28. I'm very nearly 29.
No, I mean about 30 though.
I know, but 28, very close to 29 is, I'm getting on for 30 as it is.
He's getting on for 30. He'll be saying, "Come on, let's go. It's getting on a bit." He'll be saying that more and more as he nears to the age of the penultimate age. 29.
I will, but I might start lying about my age. Some people do that. I'll just tell people I'm 25.
Sure. Yeah. Do you lie about your age? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Yeah, please do. But we could also say about the time, couldn't we? It doesn't have to be about age. We could say, "Oh, it's getting on. It's getting on for 6. It's getting on for 6. We should get a move on. We should get on with it. We should get on with it. It's getting on for 6."
Yeah. Maybe you could even say it's getting on a bit. I mean, it's getting on for midnight, so we should go. Or as your parents might say, it's getting on for 8. So it's getting on a bit. Let's go. We're getting on a bit. It's getting on a bit. And it's getting on for 8. So if you're not confused now, then just continue watching. Okay, the next one is the one that you probably almost definitely know. Get on a board. Get on a bus.
Get on a board. I want a board.
You could get on a snowboard. Could you get on a snowboard?
Get on a surfboard.
A surfboard. There you go. Yeah. So to get on something, like to get on the bus. I've got an echo, Harry.
Have you?
Mm.
Oh. What do you want me to do about that? Do you want me to get some headphones?
No, it's okay. I'll carry on. No, it is really annoying, actually.
Oh.
You mute yours. I'll carry on with this.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So as I was saying, get on a bus, get on the plane, get on anything that you enter or you board. Okay. Fairly straightforward. So the next one that we want to talk about is to get on to a subject, to get on to something. So I said at the beginning, before we get on to another topic, let's talk about our sponsor. So get on with subject. Lovely headphones, Harry.
Thank you. Thanks.
Where did you get them?
So we're not going to sponsor this video by Casio, but
Casio.
So Sony. Casio do watches. Sony did these. I got them free with an old phone contract.
All right. I don't know how we got onto that, but let's get back to the definition, please.
Very good, Charlie. I like that. So sometimes in conversation, it kind of goes off in different directions and it digresses. That's the word. It digresses. And you're like, how the hell did we end up talking about my grandma's racism? How did we end up talking about that? And you can say, how did we get onto that? How did we get onto that?
And you could even add an extreme, like how on earth, how the hell did we get onto that? How on earth, or how the hell did we get onto that?
Yeah, this is good. It's really common. Yeah. How did we get onto that? How did we get onto this? Yeah, so really, really common one. Definitely use it. And now going on to the final use of get on.
Dun, dun, dun.
I've never heard any of my students use this, or a lot of the ones we talked about today, and I would love to see them using it. This is super advanced English, very, very colloquial. So it's to get on, not with for. We use it with the preposition to get on to somebody. And it's when we're contacting somebody to help us in some way. So if you have a broken shower, Charlie, who could you get onto?
Well, in this house, I would just get on to my dad about that because he's quite good at that kind of thing. But if I was living on my own, I would just say I need to get on to the plumber about my shower. The
There you go.
plumber.
Get onto the plumber. Yeah, get onto the plumber. So we get on to someone about something. What about if the lights aren't working in your house and you're sitting there in the dark?
I need to get on to the electrician, or I need to get on to my wife to pay the bills.
Okay, yeah. So you're married in this example. Good. Get onto your wife to pay the bills. Yeah, Stacey, pay the bills. We're sitting in the dark. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. It's a really good one. So to get on to somebody about something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you got on to anyone about something recently, Charlie?
Yeah. I've gotten on to my brother-in-law about getting me a new car.
Oh, okay. All right. What's that? Oh, for over in Australia.
In Australia. Yeah.
And when you got on to him, was he able to sort you out with something?
He's lining me up with a couple to look at when we land. Yes.
Good. I bet you're glad you got on to him.
I am very, very happy that I was able to get on to him about this. Yes.
Fantastic. So, guys, this is all they are the 10 uses of get on. I hope you have enjoyed it, but it's getting on a bit now, Charlie. So we should probably bring this to a close, right?
We should, yes. We really appreciate it, though, if you do comment in the chat box. This one was a really quick one for you guys to get as much information in a short period of time. But do write in the comments. Use as many of those get-on definitions as possible and get creative with your answers. And we will be liking them and correcting them if we need. So we hope you enjoyed this. And we look forward to helping you with your English studies in the future. Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, Charlie. Love you guys. See you soon. Remember to subscribe, watch another video, and give us some love. Give us a like. Give us some love, baby. See you soon, and have a good day.